Here are 35 online reviews of the audiobook titled, Money, Master the Game. Written by Tony Robbins. Narrated by Tony Robbins and Jeremy Bobb. 1. 95% not spoken by Robbins. Would you say that listening to this book was time well spent? Why or why not? It's in stark contrast when Tony's voice suddenly changed to Jeremy Bobb's. Jeremy's voice pales in comparison when compared to Tony's in terms of energy, motivation, and congruence. Jeremy's voice just lacks heart and soul. Sadly, Tony only narrated the first and last chapter of this audiobook. It's hugely disappointing. I would have given 5 stars if the whole audiobook had been narrated by Tony. 2. Tony Robbins Skeptic. As a senior studying finance at University of California, San Diego, I found this book extremely useful. The information was accurate and highly practical. 3. Should have gotten the abridged version. There is definitely valuable information in this book, especially for Americans. As a non-US citizen, many of the tools used in the book are just not available to us. Still, I feel like I had to filter through all the straw to get to the few needles of information. Overall worth it, but I assume the abridged version would have the same value in a third or the listening time. 4. This book won't teach you how to be rich or financially independent. There is nothing in this book about becoming rich or financially independent. It is more of how to be average, how to secure your pension and basically not to be out of money in your old age. But it doesn't teach anything about financial freedom or investing. There are way better books on those topics. 5. Excellent step-by-step guide for financial freedom. The book outlines some practical and meaningful things that I've started implementing in my life already. It makes sense and breaks down a lot of myths. I recommend this book for anyone who is interested in investing and wants to reach financial freedom. 6. Life-changing. I am just diving into this book for the second time as it has so much information that I can continue to get more out of it and keep adjusting my finances as I learn. Already this book has paid me back tenfold in the money I have saved from the changes I have made in my mortgage and investment portfolio. 7. I'm simply blown away. Seriously, it's not an easy read, or listen, but it's not just a book either. Ignore the reviews by those looking for fast and cheap content and read this book, study the blueprint, and take advantage of the amazing resources. I actually listened here on Audible, read it on Kindle and ordered 2 print versions to give away. 8. Info full. This book, unabridged version, is chock full of great information for the everyday consumer, or future investor. This book never lost my attention. Yes, some of the terms were well beyond my understanding, but this is only the beginning. What a great start, for me. 9. A book that will wake you up financially. This book is a refreshing reminder of how complex investing and retirement really is. However, without giving specific advice, it opens the door to look at all the products and financial services that are out there at our disposal without all the hidden fees, and depending on how old you are, you can come up with your conclusion of what investments with suits you best. This book is big, it's long, but it's worth reading or listening to. 10. Awesome book. This book has a wealth of knowledge and inspiration. I like his generosity and that he has an organization to help feed people. This is one book that actually gives you concrete knowledge on how to have financial success and freedom, and the book also inspires you with his story of his background and the background of others. There was so much that I didn't know, and this book has really helped me. This book is very long, but the book is entertaining and interesting throughout. You will never get bored with this book. 11. Amazing book. I think anybody who wants to change his life by preparing for the future would really appreciate this book. It contains not only helpful information about investing, but also challenges you as human being. I believe that you will be changed after reading it. Enjoy the ride. 12. Waste of time and dangerous advice. This book is only 1% actionable financial advice, 79% self-help and self-promotion, and 20% vaguely entertaining details about how the ultra-wealthy dabble with their extra dollar. Read Susie Orman's Ultimate Retirement Guide, published in 2020 instead. Tony Robbins' book is one example of why most people don't handle money well, because they waste their time on books like this and get scared away from making sound investment decisions. Rich people like Tony want it to seem too complex for you so that you will remain poor. Please read Susie Orman instead, and then go to Bogleheads, Vanguard Bogle, for more details if desired. But Susie's retirement book is pretty much all you need. Tony also has a terrible #meta record, Google it. I learned about his womanizing after purchasing, but the megalomaniac introductory chapter clued me in. Do not waste your time and money. You really don't need to hear how rich people buy chunks of retirement homes or other people's life insurance policies. Tony doesn't give you enough detail to actually do anything or make any decisions, he just wants to overwhelm you with disjointed info. Just go read Susie Orman. Her books are worth their weight in gold. 13. Insightful. I do believe that having a basic concept about investing is helpful prior to reading this book. However, Tony covers just about everything there is to know, especially if you're a beginner. This is one to grow with. Happy investing and happy living all. 14. 15 minutes content crammed into 11 hours of fluff. This book has some valid content, however, it is literally filled with hours upon hours of virtual signal-ly, self-aggrandizement, self-promotion, and obvious selfish conflicts of interest by Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, shame of you. You are purely twisted, evil, and shameless and don't care about anyone but yourself. Your charity work is just vanity products leveraged for self-promotion. Shame. 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 15. Game Changer book. I highly recommend this book. The information is so valuable. I wish I would have read/listened to this book when it was first released. The value and the cost of this book is so crazy, it is hard to measure. If you are having a hard time understanding money and making it grow, read/listen to this ASAP. 16. Fluff. I find Tony Robbins smoke and mirrors. All his seminars I have done have been the same. First 1/2 about how much it helps and how wonderful they are, next 1/4 about all the celebrities he works with. 1/8 of it the actual program, which is every other self-help on the planet you can get for free, and the last 1/8 how you can give him more money. It's a gimmick. 17. This book is garbage. He only talks about how great he is and then goes on and on about how he will give you tips, but he never does, he just repeats himself over and over. I feel like I throw my credit to the trash. Probably that's the first lesson, don't waste money on stupid books. 18. These are the worst money spent in my entire life. I can't even finish the first chapter of this book. I am so disgusted by Tony endlessly bragging about himself and endlessly promising to give the formula of getting rich, and never giving it. These are the worst money spent in my entire life. Buying a book to listen someone bragging about himself. That's really smart of him in creating his fortune, that's his secret, making lots of fools buy his book about nothing. This is a real talent, congrats. 19. Too much fluff. Honestly, the book can provide a lot of good info, but there is so much fluff it ruins it. Could be a better option for someone else, but for me I can only listen to someone tell me about how they have a secret method to make money so many times. For me it was more of a book where Tony would talk about his famous friends. 20. Must read if you want to learn more about finances. I absolutely love this book. It taught me a lot about annuities, mutual funds, fees, and so much more. Plus, Tony does an excellent job highlighting that true happiness comes from giving. 21. Excellent correlation of opportunities. I appreciated the interviews and the options laid on the table with the short-term or long-term options. Nobody was left out. Tony is the man trying to give advice to the broke, and he actually lived it, so he really understands. Now the hard part, discipline and fortitude to be better financially free in 10 years. Awesome listen, I will do it over and recommend it to my peers. I loved it. Failure is okay, for those who rub your face in it, it's not the end and my story is not complete. 22. Read this book. This is definitely a must-read for anyone that is new to the investing world. It will also serve a great purpose to anyone that is currently investing and lack the knowledge of mutual funds, brokers, 401ks, etc. Lots of life-changing information for investors. 23. Great book. Useful information. Great book, useful information to start your investing journey. However, the reason it doesn't get a 5-star is because it misses a huge demographic, which is international investors. There is no guide on how to invest as an international. Which apps to use that charge the least amount, for example. 24. A must-read. The book has an plot twist that might shock the reader. However, I would recommend this book to others looking for answers or perspectives on financial strategies. The book lacked references to or strategies by wealthy black people. 25. Too much of everything. There are some very good points in this book. However, The whole book could have been written in about 100 pages and in a 1-hour audio. A lot of marketing, a lot of repetition, and a lot of advice. The chapters with the interview are worth reading or listening. 26. Please, don't let bad reviews deter you. This book is an incredible guide for any individual beginning their journey of trying to figure out how to properly invest their money. I've also listened to his book Unshakable as well, which is the short version of this one. If you do decide to listen or read this book, please take notes as you go. As for the bad reviews, I can't really wrap my head around why someone would leave a low rating, given the amount of information and insight it has. Maybe they're one of those high-fee hedge fund managers the book describes. That would make sense. 27. Wish I've read it sooner. Extraordinarily. Thank you for adding massive value to my life, my family, friends, and colleagues. As a business owner and a family man, I truly been inspired to keep giving passionately and inspire my surroundings to do the same, as it makes the world better and happier place. Give yourself the gift to fulfilling life. Read this book. 28. I love the inspiration. I listen repeatedly. I have been attuned to Tony Robbins since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. My brain's stubbornness blocks my actions. That is what I'm working on. This is an all-around book that I read it with my eyes. Now that I have listened to it, the next time is so that I can take notes to post for visualization. This is a recommendation read for all who needs mentoring and tips. 29. Not me, but, if typical retirement is you, get this. I had to abbreviate in the title due to the space available. This book is amazing for anyone who is looking to create a semi-typical retirement account. I even recommended it to my mother, if that says anything. Now, it is not my type of book, but it is the best book for most people that choose to take a path of normal or semi-normal retirement. Unless you believe that your business or your grind is your retirement, you absolutely need to read this or listen to this without question. Keep in mind, this is coming from somebody who does not believe this way, so I will reiterate that I told my own mother she had to hear this, period. I think that is enough said. 30. Listened along with paperback. Tony over-delivers with this info-packed book. Lots of great interviews. I just got interested in stocks after seeing my retirement get cut in half in March 2020. I was able to switch financial planners and pay much less, which means more money to invest. P.S. Great narrator. Not sure if I can listen to Tony's scratch voice for 7 hours. Not trying to be mean, but even Tony acknowledges his voice is unique. 31. Just stories of Tony's rich friends. No real step-by-step advice, just vague financial advice, which is less than 1% compared to the rest of the book, which is just stories about billionaires. Really stupid book. 32. Mixed feelings about narration. The book was very insightful, at least when it came to financial terms and learning about different ways to invest in diversified performing arts and manage risk and allocated funds, so for that part I really enjoyed it, but I wish that the book which was on the cover, Tony Robbins, wouldn't have been just Tony Robbins in the front, a third-party reading in the middle, and Tony Robbins finishing up with some more motivation. The wall, the content was good. I did feel like I was kind of sold someone else's book, so for that I would not give it 5 stars. Although the content was good, I felt like it was a little bit misleading, to be honest. 33. Just a waste of money and time. The author will waste your time with this 23 hours audiobook just to tell you that you must invest in mutual fund. If you are really looking for a book telling you how to make money and get ready for when you retire, please keep going and buy something else but this book. So disappointing. 34. Great principles. Love the book and the principles provided, as well as the information and definitions for beginners to experienced investors. Some of the information can be overloaded and seem mundane, but overall amazing and changed my perspective on finances and investing. 35. Lost in the sauce. I really enjoyed this book, learning about savings, investments, retirements, etc. I followed along with Audible and the book. I would find myself being lost in certain occasions, but eventually get back on track. Book overall helps with where you should start on putting savings and investments in smart places. You learn from some of the best minds of investing. What you learn in life and information is worth the read. Thank you for watching. Please, do not forget to subscribe, like and share this video. Tune in for more online audiobooks reviews.